Hi guys, I'm here with Sebastien from Ubisoft. He's working on the multiplayer component of Spies vs. Mercs in Splinter Cell Blacklist. So, as a newcomer to the game, can you explain briefly what a round of Spies vs. Mercs would be like?
Yeah. So basically, the Spy vs. Mercs is it's a multiplayer. It's about hide and seek and cat and mouse gameplay. So it's pure stealth. On one side, you will have the spy who have to infiltrate and hack 3 terminals.
Yep.
And on the other side, you will have the merc that have to prevent the hacking and eliminate the threat, eliminate the hacker, basically. Each of the class will have his own set of ability to outsmart the opponent, actually.
Okay, cool. Is it fair to say that the mercs are stronger in terms of health points, and the spies are much more fragile? What sort of a dynamic have you got going on there?
Okay, that's exactly it. Basically, what you have on one side, you will have the merc that is heavy armored, has the first-person view, so he's really aware of the environment and has access to a good arsenal of weapons. So in the frontal confrontation and long range, the merc will have an advantage over the spy. On the other side, you have the spy that can use the shadow and have access to the verticality. Because the merc is heavy armored, he doesn't have access to exclusive spot like the spy has. Access to the pipe, the vents, so it helps the spy to infiltrate. Also, the spy is really good at melee attacks.
Yeah.
So basically, the environment for the spy is his weapon, but he's more fragile. So that's the counterpart. So it's really 2 different classes that we call asymmetric, and each of them has an advantage and need to be played differently as well.
Okay. So from your multiplayer testing, would you say it's the spies or the mercs that win more often?
Actually, the way you build the game is that when you play Spy vs. Mercs, you have a round. It's two rounds of 10 minutes. Yeah. One round as a spy and one round as a merc. So basically, it's the team that act the most station that will win. So there's no such way as the spy or mercs win more often. Yeah. Basically, it's well balanced in the game mode itself. Okay,
so it's very important to maintain that balance, because you wouldn't want to have the mercs be much more powerful than the spies, for example.
Yeah.
So are there different variations of this? Like, is there a hardcore mode of Spies versus Mercs, or is there just one variation of it?
Actually, we're offering two modes. We have Spy vs. Mercs Classic, that is true to the root of what Spy vs. Mercs used to be back in the days of Pandora Tomorrow. So basically, it's 2 versus 2, and the loadout are fixed. So for the spy and for the merc. We have another version that is called Spy vs. Mercs Blacklist, that is 4 against 4, and now the spy will have access to lethal weapon, 200 lethal weapon, and will also have access to customization. The mercs will have access to customization, and the spy as well, and it opens up to special ability that the spy and mercs will have access, armor part, and different vision mode and gadget.
Okay, so the 4 versus 4 mode, is that mainly aimed at newer players, or is that what are you trying to pitch that one as the main multiplayer mode?
I think it's 2 different experiences. For sure, like when you're playing 2 versus 2, your importance in the game is like you're happy with your team. So when you're 4v4, this may be more permissive, like if I can say.
Okay.
So that's one good point. The other thing is that people like to customize also. On one side, we had the purists that want to have their Spy vs. Mercs experience, and we're offering it with the Classic. On the other side, we wanted to have a new take on Spy vs. Mercs, and that's what Blacklist is. It's like we introduce customization, we introduce more players, so you will see more action because there's more going on.
Yeah.
In Classic, it's more about anticipation. It's really intense because it's more that fear and anticipation kind of feeling that is created, and the Blacklist is more action, but still strategic and still a stealth game. We wanted to preserve that.
So have you got like a ladder system or like a score ranking system in there for people who wanted to play the game competitively, regularly, or anything like that? Or
what we're going to rely on is the private match. What we did is we wanted to let the player the ability to create their own custom match if they want. So basically, you can even play with the rules if you want the time that
modifiers.
Exactly. So that's what we wanted to give to the player to make sure that they have fun together playing Spy vs. Mercs.
Okay, so say I was a brand newcomer to the series.
Yeah.
Say I play Counter-Strike or Battlefield. How would you sell Spies versus Mercs to me? What would you tell to me to get me to play it?
It's different because it's like first time the people will jump in. They're so used to playing Counter-Strike on the first-person shooter. They're gonna only look at the threat on the verticality, on the horizontally, but you need to look in the 3D environment because the threat is coming from all over the place.
Everywhere.
Yeah, because the spy are lethal. They can have an aerial strike like death from above or grab from ledge. So that is new. That would be a new feeling, and you need to be really like get into it and be careful. I would say be more careful. And also, it's more based on strategy and outsmarting your opponent, finding the right way to surprising. Than based on skill.
Yeah.
You still need skill, and you still need to play really differently when you play a spy. If you play a spy like you play a merc, it won't work.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same.
You can't go in guns blazing. Yeah.
Exactly. It just won't work. So you really need to outsmart your opponent. Use your tools. Use your gadget. Use your vision mode. Your vision mode gives you a good level of awareness. So it's totally different. It's like I said, it's cat and mouse. And it's hide and seek.
Yeah, very intense.
Exactly. So it's tactical.
It sounds very cool.
Yeah,
so, finally, if you were to describe Spies versus Mercs in 3 words, what would you say?
In 3 words, I would say stealthy.
Yeah.
I would say tactical. I would say intense.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.